Hi everybody, it's Lisa with Ink and Inspirations. Come on in and say hello if you're watching. Jackie just came in and said he wanted to present something first. So we're going to give everybody a few minutes to log on and say hello, and then he's got something he wants to show you.
Okay, last week whenever we were demonstrating this little truck, at the end of it I said if y'all would tune in next week I would try to have a surprise because I had something in my mind. So what I was thinking of at the time was a dump truck. This is my prototype of the first one. I didn't really like it. I noticed that the wheels, when I tried to put two of them on the back, they didn't quite match up, and I couldn't get this dump to stay like it was. So I got Lisa to pull up online what a real dump truck looked like. And so from there, I made a second one that I liked a little bit better. And it was a blue truck and it had a yellow bed. And what I did here was I extended the bed a little bit. And what makes this one sit down a lot easier is the fact that I double scored this in a tight spot. So instead of wanting it to spring up, it would stay down. Also double scored here where this would kind of fit over the bed. This is like a protector of the cab of a truck if something gets dropped on a real dump truck. What I did is I put the wheels in the normal spot, and because the bed is extended a little bit, what I did is just put the other wheel at the tail end. I even put the do not push on the back like you see on them, and that's pretty much it. She don't know that I'm going to tell y'all this, but if anybody out there makes an order between now and the end of the month, I will send you the dimensions and a video of how to make this. So y'all have a great day. I'm turning it back over to the boss.
Okay, that's pretty cute, don't you think? And how do you like that? He's planning to do another video then. So that's great. Okay, I think this is really cute. I didn't even watch him make it. But I knew he was working on something, and it's super cute, and I really like how it looks. Thank you so much, Mr. Brown. Appreciate it. Okay, he's going fishing. Okay, so anyway, hey Carol, hi Joyce. Okay, let me get started. I'm not going to mess with the camera right now because I've got it pretty much like I want it. Well, I said that. I made a liar about it myself there. But I want to be sure I have enough in view here. I'm seeing it. I don't have my whole grid sheet in view, but I think if I keep my hands in the middle, you'll be able to see. Okay, so thank you all for joining me today. We're going to be using this beautiful Healing Hugs stamp set. I was in need of several get well, thinking of you cards at one time, and I had ordered this set and had not used it yet. And so I've made some cards. We're gonna do two today online here, and then I have some other ones I'm going to show you that you may see in a video later. And so before we get started with that, and some of you have already shared the video. Thank you so much. And I do a random drawing if you share. And so for last week, this week's winner is Jamie Sanders. So Jamie, I don't have your address, I don't believe. So if you will, send me your, private message me your address, and I will get this sent to you in the mail. Okay? All right. Okay, let us see what else is going on. Okay. For those of you that don't know, I'm still this is still open, the Holiday Catalog Paper Share. The information is on my blog. It's 96 pieces of 6x6 for $36 for this Holiday Catalog Paper Share. Our first card I wanted it to be something that uses this set, but maybe wasn't too floral, if that makes any sense. Something that could be a little bit more than maybe more masculine feel, but still have that, you know, get well soon. So this is the card I came up with. I wanted to try to go with a vintage look, okay? And so you can see here, it involves embossing, and I haven't used any of didn't use the flower at all. I've used these leaves and this branch here, and so I'm going to go ahead and get started. This one is a little more involved than the second card, so I decided to go ahead and do it first. Okay, now I have all of my hey Aunt Vicky, I have all of my supplies in one little bucket here so that I can have them at arm's reach. Okay, so I have a base of soft suede. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. Okay, I don't do anything to that. The next layer up is soft suede again, and it's 4 by 5 1/4, and I am going to do some texturing on this and some embossing. Okay, then I have some other pieces. This is Mossy Meadow. I believe that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I'll have all these on my blog, and I'll, you know, link to it so you can go there. And this is the Pressed Petals Designer Series paper, this newsprint pattern. That's 3 by 4, and then I have some extra soft suede so I can stamp. And this piece of vellum, I cut that 3 by 4 as well. That's to soften up this look. Okay, so I put that over there, and you're gonna see on this card, I tore it and then sponged the edges. I don't know that I'm real crazy about that. So this time I'm just gonna kind of maybe rub my scissors along the edge and try that. Anyway, we'll see how it looks, okay? So I'm going to start by doing the texture on this soft suede layer. Now, our embossing folders, you know, we switched companies, manufacturers, and this is what we now call, it's the Scripty 3D embossing folders. These big ones, we used to call them dynamic. They're 3D now, and this is a script, beautiful, beautiful. And it is not as thick as our dynamic, okay? So we had to make some adjustments to roll it through the machine. So what we've got now, I'm gonna get my die cutting machine over here. Okay, so I'm gonna use just the plate here, okay? The bottom platform, I should say. All right, and then I have the Scripty folder, and the script goes across like this, okay? And this is right side up, so I'm gonna put my cardstock in there. Just center it up, and that's gonna be there. That's gonna go here. And then we have a new 3D embossing plate. And this is only, not for cutting anything. It's a different color so that you know not to use it for any of your cuts. So I'm gonna put that over top. Now, you and I both know if you have a die cutting machine that everyone's is a little different as far as pressure. So recommended is a shim to get a deeper impression if when you run it through, it's not as pronounced as you want it. So I'm just trying another piece of cardstock here that I'm going to put beneath that piece of cardstock that I have inside the folder. I'm going to put the 3D embossing plate on and run it through. Okay. Move that out of the way now. And I'll open this up so you can see. Okay, so see how pretty that is? All right. And I probably could take another piece and put it through and it would go through fine, but I don't want to put too much stress on the machine. You know, you can tell when you're trying to roll something through if you don't have the right sandwich. And that I mean by how many plates you have stacked up, you know when it's not right. Well, I don't want to put any more pressure on the machine than need be, so I'm just going to use that one shim, I think, with my 3D embossing folders. Okay, so now I have this, and what I'm going to do with it now is we're going to go ahead and start doing some of our embossing. Now, I know probably most of you are not new to embossing, but if you are, we have this Watermark stamp pad Versamark, and it's a clear sticky ink, okay? And so what I decided to do for this layer is just take my pad and brush it along the edges like this. Okay, so now, and I was going to do the embossing ahead of time, and I thought, you know, I better not. I better just go ahead and do it and show you. I'm going to keep that there. I'm going to get my copper embossing powder and see if I can find my spoon. I like to keep my embossing powders in a little plastic container. This one is kind of small. Sometimes I make a mess with it. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take some copper embossing powder and sprinkle. Okay, so you see it's going to put a very uneven edge, and I'm making a mess. It's all right. It'll be pretty. Let me try this. There we go. Okay, I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to clean up my mess. I got a little embossing powder there. Okay, I'm going to put that to the side, and then I'm going to get my heat tool and let it heat up just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the 2. It's on high. Okay, and then I'm going to start, and you can see it melting. So pretty. That copper is gorgeous. And it's like, I remember embossing was one of my first techniques, and it was like, that I learned. It was like magic to me. And it's still very popular and beautiful. And I find more so when I get into, especially with the metallics, when I get into the fall and the holiday season of the year, I like to use the metallics. Okay. And so see, I didn't worry about if it was even or uniform, because it's that vintage look. It's like anything goes. I love that. Okay. I think I got it all. There's a little speck right there that didn't make it. Okay. So there is that layer. Okay. And that is going to go over top of our card base, just like this. You see how that just makes that layer pop? And Lisa, be sure you get the script going right side up. So, okay, this is, I need to brush this off. And I'm not through embossing, so you know I'll probably make another little mess, but it's okay. All right, so now I'm going to take, thank you, Pam, take my liquid glue, and I'm going to go ahead and set this down so I don't have layers all over the place and me wondering where in the world it is. So, Did I do it right? Yeah, right side up. All right. Okay, so there's our card base and the first layer there. Now I'm going to take the Mossy Meadow layer, and what I did with it is I took my paper snips. These are really sharp, and I'm just going to run a little bit along the edge and roughen it up. Let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the sides too. Do any of you do this, roughen up or tear your edges anymore? I know for a while the tearing was very popular technique. I mean, and it still is for vintage style cards. Thanks, Diana. Yeah, I love this vintage look. You know, I haven't done it in a long time, but it's my favorite, I think. Okay, so now I want to get my soft suede ink and a sponge dauber. And I'm going to tap that, and then I'm going to go around the edges here. And it gives it an aged look, okay? Okay, that layer is done. And now I'm going to take this layer, and all I'm going to do for it is just spun around the edges. This designer paper, this press petals, gorgeous, okay? There's no other word for it. It's gorgeous, especially if you like vintage look, I think. I mean, you don't have to, but it's perfect for this style of card. And it's thinner than most designer papers, okay? More of it comes in a pack. I think there are 24 sheets in this pack of 12 by 12. And it's thinner, but it's just got that old feel. You know what I mean? Love it, like book pages, you know? Love that. Okay, so this is going to go like this. And I kind of cocked it a little bit. And then I'm going to do this, okay? Let's see, make sure. And this print goes every which way, so you can't really mess up with that. And then this is my vellum that I'm going to use over top of that, okay? So I think what I'm going to do instead of tearing is trying this. I've never tried this on vellum, but it's working pretty good. I like it. I think I might like it better than the torn. But, you know, I mean, that's not bad either, you know? Especially, it's kind of like a book page, an old book that's been charred or something, you know? Oh, that kind of tore that a little bit, but that's okay. So let's rough this up. This is just our regular cardstock vellum. And I did try using the Perennial Essence vellum, and I didn't like it. It was too bright. It had too much out there pizzazz for this look. Okay, so here again, I'm taking this and flipping. I'm kind of chatty today, and it takes longer. I hope that's okay. Okay. All right. So that's going to go over top like that. I'm going to go ahead and put these layers down. Okay. And I have a thing about with vintage look, it's like my layers usually aren't straight, you know, and there are lots of layers. Love it. And if you haven't tried this, you need to try this style of card. It is so fun to do because it's like you can keep adding and adding and adding, and it's beautiful. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, so that's a little more off than I wanted. I want it just kind of slightly angled. Now this is going to go here, Okay, I'm gonna put that directly over top. And I'm looking at this placement and this placement. So I don't want my adhesive to show. So I'm going to take some snail and put it here about where I think that circle is going to be and cover it up. And then I know we're going to have something here. So I'm going to cover that up. And then that's not going to show. And if it's like this, to me, that just adds to that vintage look. Okay? All right. Let's see. What's next? Probably more embossing. Yes? Okay. I'm going to set this one aside. And I'm going to get this and this. We're going to do our sentiment and our little page for our circle here. So let's get our Versamark ink again. And I'm just going to do a random stamping in this area. And I could do it all over, really. You can, and you probably can't see that stamping, but I'm not sure if the lens is picking it up. Okay, I'm going to go with the leaf now. And if it overlaps, it's fine. And if you do the whole page here, then you can choose where you're going to punch your circle. Let's see. Let me go back in here with this. Okay, I'm trying to decide where I'm going to put this. I'm going to do one upside down right here. And over here. I think I'm liking this area. I could emboss the whole thing, but I don't know that I want to. Or maybe right in here. I'm going to go back over this. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle on the embossing powder. And I should have used my embossing buddy. I forgot. It doesn't matter so much on this because it's not words or, you know, it's the vintage look. So if it gets stray embossing powder somewhere, it's okay. It just kind of adds to the look. Okay. I said I wasn't going to do the whole thing, but I want to find an area that my circle punch is going to make the most of this pretty embossing. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I'll make it work. Okay, so now I have this. That's going to be ready to go. And now, since I have the embossing powder on the sticky ink, the Versamark, it's okay. I can set it aside and it will still emboss, okay? Next, I'm going to take my Get Well Soon, and I'm going to ink that up. And this one I am going to use the embossing buddy. That's this little thing here. And it's got powder inside, like an anti-static, to make an anti-static. And this keeps the embossing powder from sticking anywhere but where you've stamped with this Versamark ink. Okay, I think that'll be good. All right, so let me move this out of the way, put my lid on, and let's go ahead and sprinkle the embossing powder on this. And hey, Catherine. Okay, all right. So you see how clean that is? It didn't stick anywhere else, the embossing powder, okay? All right, move that out of the way. Let's get the heat tool again. Okay, let me see. Yeah, Carol, that's a good idea too. do the small strips. Okay. Look how quick. Woo! Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Let's do this. Another thing you could do is punch the circle out first and then stamp. You know, like that, you see the area you have to work with. This was like a little free-for-all here. I was like, whoa, too much area to stamp. I thought it would be helpful, but I don't know that it is. Okay. I didn't really get my stamping as close together as I wanted it. Okay, that's good. But it's all good. Okay, so I'm taking my 2 1/4 inch circle punch and I'm gonna punch where I think I'm gonna get the best image. And I like that, I think. See how that, I wish I would have had something a little closer there. Let's go over here. Decisions. I think I heated that a little bit too long, but it's okay. It's a vintage card. I know y'all are thinking, just punch, Lisa, already. There we go. Oh. All right. So again, soft suede, sponged around the edges. Okay, so that's ready. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to get the, let's see, what punch? The Timeless Label Punch, which is this one. Whoops. And it barely fits this, but I liked the look once I got it. I thought, oh, that's too small. I'm cutting off some of the letter, but it's okay. I want spacing here a little more at the top than at the bottom because of how the circle is going to be overlapping that, okay? And punch. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way. Where did it go? Here it is. Okay, so there we have it, okay? Now you see these 3 little whimsical things? I don't know, I don't know what you call them. Like accents, whatever. To me, that's not vintagey. So what I did is I tried to, or I'm going to try to, and I did it on the other one, to cover it up like that. Okay, so that to me just was like, was too, I don't know. I guess just say it, Lisa. I didn't like how it looked on this card. So I covered it up. And now I'm going to take, this is some more, oh look, a little rhinestone right there. This is some more of the press petals, and I love the music notes. This music note, sheet music and music notes are beautiful for vintage projects. So I'm going to take this, and where's my soft suede? And go around the edges of this as well. Okay, and then that is going to go behind this, okay? So where's my card? let's start building this up, okay? That's gonna go like that. Just like that. Let's come down with this, there. Yep, I like it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put this piece here, and it's covering up that adhesive beneath the vellum there. So that's covered up. See, here's the other adhesive there. Okay, this one is going to not overlap. I'm gonna come down where this, the little music, sheet music shows a little bit, that other punched piece. So like this. And I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right here. Okay. Then this is going to go over top right there. And what do I want to use? Liquid glue? I think that's what I used. Sometimes on these lives, I wish I could hear you chattering in the background because it's so quiet. To me, I just hear myself talk. All right, let's do this, and I'm gonna hold that a bit. And then we're gonna finish it up and start on the next one. The next card won't take quite as long. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, so what I did, look, these are the only rhinestones I have left. So what I did here is I colored these rhinestones with my Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blends, the dark one, okay? I mean, it's really cool to be able to get whatever color you want, all right? And then I am going to get my Take Your Pick tool and put a couple of these on here. Let's do the ones that's dry. There. And then here. Here, this one. Oh, there's one more thing. I almost forgot. This copper trim. Look, that's all I have left. It's on my list to order some more. I'm going to take this. I'm not going to cut it off yet. And I'm just going to tie a knot. Okay? Like that. Then I'm going to cut off. And I'll probably trim this a bit. And it's going to be easier to trim before I do the magic with it. Okay? So I'm going to cut this off. This is kind of like a faux bow because of what the little magic that this does. Gives it the look of a bow. Now look, I'm going to take my fingers and I'm just going to spread it apart. Just like that. I love this stuff. See? Okay, and then let's get a glue dot. And this is just I knew something was missing. This is just the finishing touch. It's going to go right here where those two pieces meet and kind of tie them together. Okay? All right, there's your first card. Okay, let me, I'm going to switch and do another one. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to try to clear the embossing powder off of my top. I think I'm just going to take this sheet and rip it up. I don't want to feel all that embossing powder underneath there. Okay. Okay. All right, let me see if I can get my next project going here. All right, so this one is a little more flirty. Here is the card, okay? Here I've used the roses, and this is a distinctive stamp because it gives the look of dimension, but just in the stamp etching. Okay, you see the petals, the individual petals of the roses or flowers, whatever they are. I mean, I know they're flowers, but you know what I mean. Okay, so that's it. And what I'm using for the card base here is one of the, look at this pretty tin. These are the Bird Ballad laser cut note cards and envelopes. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that lace. Okay, so I'm using one of those. And so let's get started. So first off, let me tell you, you know, you don't have to. You put a layer underneath here, but it just really accentuates the lace here if you have a color beneath it. And I experimented with several colors, and the darker shade, even though this is still a subtle, isn't it? Yes, Calypso Coral. It was like so much better than I tried Powder Pink and Blushing Bright and So Saffron, and there wasn't enough distinction between the lace and the cardstock color to really give it that wow look. So I chose Calypso Coral. And here's a little trick. You want to cut this where you can adhere it to this narrow border. Okay, so I cut this piece, I've got my notes here, at 5 5/16 by 4 1/8. Let me show you. So 5 5/16. Okay, here's 5 1/4, and the one little mark after that is 5/16. Okay, by 4 1/8. 4, and it's like not the little tick, but the next one, the second tick there is 4 1/8. Okay. All right. So I'll show you this. Now this is you have to have a cooperating glue bottle. Just kidding, but you know what I mean. Don't have one that's globbed up or been, you know, where you haven't used in a while, and all of a sudden it comes out in a big blob. And always a good idea to test it first. So let me see what kind of stream I'm going to have with this. Okay, that's a little bit too much. That's what I want. Show you can't see it on that. Here, let's take this soft suede piece. I want it to stream just like that, okay? Or even less. So I'm barely squeezing it, all right? So I get pretty close, but not on top of that edge right next to the laser cut. So let me try this. Let's see how successful I can be. You see how that's just barely coming out? And it's like wavy, wavy, wavy. I can't do it in a straight line. Okay. And you could use fine tip glue, but I prefer this glue over fine tip glue. Honest engine. Honestly. I shouldn't say honest engine. Okay. All right. There we go. Now, I'm going to lay that over top. And then you can let it dry like this before you ever close it and work with it, okay? So the one I'm going to work with today has already been dry, okay? See how pretty that is? Okay. All right, let me clean my hands of the glue. Hi, Joyce. Thank you. Yeah, it's super pretty. All right. Okay, so here we go. I have this done, and I've already stamped the back of an envelope. That's in Calypso Coral, but I stamped off 3 times and then stamped on there, okay? And then I have a piece of very vanilla, because that's what this vase is. And I'm going to do some stamping with Pear Pizzazz, Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, I've already stamped that rose, and Soft Seafoam. So let me go ahead and do my Calypso Coral rose. Now the thing with this is that, and I'll show you in a minute some other cards, but I say in a minute, in a few minutes. You don't have to fussy cut, but I'm going to be fussy cutting. Well, actually, I've already fussy cut them. And if you don't know what fussy cutting is, it's cutting out with scissors instead of using a die. But look how beautiful that is. Okay, so we have those two color roses, Calypso Coral and Crushed Curry. And then, let's see, I'm going to take my Pear Pizzazz, and I'm doing this leaf, like these rose leaves. And I believe I stamped off on this. I can't remember exactly. Let me look. No, maybe not, because I chose the light. I had tried Old Olive, and it was a little too dark. So I switched to Pear Pizzazz and Soft Seafoam. So I'm going to stamp off first and just see what I get. And I think I like the stamp off look. So, and then I'm going to need 2 of these. 1, 2, and like I said, these will be cut out. And then I'm using Soft Seafoam for the other. So let me get that one. I always have to look at I want to say Seafoam Green, and it's Soft Seafoam is the name of the color. Okay, so here's this leaf again, and I'm going to stamp it. Okay, and we need 2. Now one of these I will be cutting out. I think I just have one of them fussy cut, but I want to show you something on this. Okay, I'm going to leave this open. Now this outline is, pretty on the vanilla. I liked it, but I needed some color, and I didn't want to use my Stampin' Blends because to me it wouldn't flow with the look of the card. Okay, ink here, Stampin' Blends, no. Okay, I didn't want to mix it on this particular card. I'm not saying you can't do it, it's just that for this card. So what I did is I put some ink drops, re-inker, in the lid of my Soft Seafoam, okay? And you just need 1 at a time, okay? Because it a little dab will do you, okay? And I have a blender pen, okay? And this has a clear ink in it, and you can use these over and over for different colors if you've never used one. And you always want to, can you see? Yeah. Scribble off to make sure it's clear before you try another color. And even though that's stained, it will, it's fine. It won't affect the color. So what I did is I've got this, and I'm going to go out here, okay, and pick up some of that. I don't want to go in that dark. You kind of pull out and then pick up color. And then I did this. And, this is just regular, very vanilla cardstock, but it will take blender pen well, the consistency of the fluid in the pen. And it's not like it's water or anything, okay? It's just a liquid that's in there that allows you to blend colors. Blender pens are also great to use with our watercolor pencils, okay? In fact, that's one of my first purchases, Stampin' Up! Purchases, was the watercolor pencils and the blender pens. Okay, so you can see I'm just barely doing some like brush strokes, trying not to be real even to get that look. So you see, don't you think that like that better than just the plain leaf? I do. So Then before I put this up, I'm going to scribble off and get that soft sea foam off of there so I'll be ready to go for my next project. So, all right. And on the screen, this may look like really dark, but once I get it cut out, you're going to see. So let me get my paper snips. And I think I need to cut this one out, okay? So as I'm cutting, I'll tell you, it's easier to move the paper than to move your scissors around. Just move the paper. I'm leaving a little bit of the very vanilla and not cutting right on the line, because with me, you never know. I just cut it right off. Part of the image, I mean. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and make it easier on myself and do this. And then here we go. Let's finish this off. So who likes to fussy cut? Anybody? I find it very relaxing. I wouldn't want to have to do it for every card, but this set lends itself to it. And you don't have to, but gosh, it just, you know, I don't know. It's relaxing. If it's not too intricate. There we go. See? I didn't take that long. All right. So let's get our card. And I'm going to get my cut pieces out. Here's my Calypso coral. Here is my crushed curry. My other leaf. Okay, and then here are my Pure Pizzazz leaves. Oh, I did have another one cut. It's okay, I'll save it. And then I have about this is a 3/4 inch strip of soft sea foam that I'm going to use for the sentiment. Okay, so let's start building these up. I wanted the Calypso coral up here, and I'm going to tuck leaves underneath there afterwards, so my adhesive is going to go mainly toward the bottom half of the rows here, okay? All right. Then let's go ahead and I'm pulling that down some. Another reason to have the paper behind this, you want glue going through on the other side. You could probably put little dots of glue here if you just wanted to put something on the front and have a lacy look. Okay. But I like it with that contrasting behind it. Tuck that there. Here are the Pure Pizzazz rose leaves that are going to go right there. Oop. I don't want that to extend beyond the border of the card edge. Okay. This one is going to go here, and that is going to be popped up with Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's be kind of generous with them. You struggle with it, like fussy cutting, Pam? Yeah. It's okay. Like I said, I don't want to do it all the time, but give me a punch, I'm happy. So, but I mean, I like it all, but sometimes I just like, you know, the look of that, and these dimensional papers, find them everywhere. Okay, so let me do this, and I'm seeing an edge here that I need to fix. Okay. And that is going to go right there. Okay, and now we have room to go ahead and put these underneath. easy to do on the when you have the dimensionals. Okay, there we go. So pretty. All right, so now this is going to be for our sentiment. This was a scrap piece, and I'm sending you healing vibes. And I've got soft seafoam here, but I'm going to stamp on it in Pear Pizzazz. Okay, thanks for the hearts, guys. Okay. Oh, Lisa. Okay. I hate it when I do that. It's like I barely touch it just when I'm trying to get settled and get ink everywhere. Okay, I'm going to put it right here so I can trim it. All right. Sending you healing vibes. And I'm going to close this ink, and I'm looking for my paper snips. These are some, but they're not the ones I'm looking for. Okay. So I want this cut up like this, easy cut, and then I am going to cut this like right here. Bam. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. And what I'm going to do, since this is popped up on dimensionals, this rose, I'm going to put a dimensional on this side, but just glue that side down. Kind of even it out. Okay. Hi, Paula. It's okay if you're late. You can watch the replay. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so let me see. Glue here. And I do put it on top of the Calypso coral. Okay. Then, almost done. I'm going to take, now I use soft seafoam on 3 of these pearls, but it's really light, but there is a little bit of a difference, so. And I don't think I did enough. I need 6 of them, so I'm putting them kind of up here, just scattering them around. Let me see. Let me get my soft seafoam. Let's color those. Do an extra in case I need it. Okay. So you can see there's a little bit of difference. All right, so there's that. And let's get this one. Put it here. And this little one here. And let's come down here with one of these. And then this one. There we go. That's good. Okay. That is your card with Healing Hugs with the Bird Ballad laser cut note cards and envelopes. Here's the envelope. And what I did is that whatever Calypso Coral ink was left on the stamp is what I stamped there. I kind of blew on it to moisten it. And so that's there. Let me see. I think I finished the inside. Yes. I cut another piece of Very Vanilla and stamped that after I stamped off several times that rose in the corner. Okay. You could put the leaves. Actually, I did. I did it really light, one of the leaves there. It's in soft seafoam. You can barely see it. But when I stamp on the inside of a card, I want it light enough, if it's not, you know, specifically in a small corner, that if you write over it, you can see, okay, what's your message. Okay, there's that. We'll do like that. And then our other cards we made. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Diana. And then here's our vintagey card. 2 different looks, same stamp set. Okay? So you can do it. I mean, the stamp sets can be very versatile for you. And I just found that this one, I mean, I don't know, it's been a while since I had purchased a Get Well set. This one is really cute. Not cute, it's pretty. But I love this, sending you healing vibes. I love that. Okay. You know, and then on the inside I'm going to say praying for you, but anyway. Okay, I'm going to show you a few more cards that I made with this set. Let's move this out of the way. Here's one with the Perennial Elegance. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Paper. I love these colors. And what I did is I just made a little note card for the front. Okay. No fussy cutting here. I did cut some dies for that. Okay. And then here's one that I made with a note card. And I used some Mosaic Mood designer paper behind it. And this is a Petal Pink or Blushing Bride, one of the two. Can't remember which one I used. One of the lighter pinks. Okay. That's one of our note cards and envelopes. And then here's this one, which I think is my favorite. It was probably the easiest one to do. This is just simple, straight stamping. Okay. And I used Lovely Lipstick and Garden Green, black accent, and look, this Feel Better Soon. What I did was on this stamp right here, I mounted it, and then I just took my black Stampin' Right marker and highlighted the Feel Better Soon and stamped it right there. Okay. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks. Yeah, I love this. Oh, in fact, I'm probably going to make a bunch of these. I mean, I love these others too, but I mean, you know, if you need a stack of Get Well cards, oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Well, here are our Healing Hugs cards for today. Thank you so much for tuning in.